Namaste friends, my name is Amit Garg. Welcome to my channel, Vedic Astro Amit. Today we'll talk about Venus in Bharani. That's going to take place from May 5th through May 16th. This is a 12 days of transit. Very, very significant transit, especially for relationships. And another big theme is creativity. So we'll discuss all of that. So first of all, let's see. So we're discussing the transits of planets through nakshatras. That gives us a deeper meaning and deeper understanding of what's going on with the planet versus looking at just the sign. So sign is also important. That gives us the foundation, the overall energy for how the planet is going to behave or what results they may give. But nakshatra gives us a deeper level of the color of the results of that planet. So Venus is going to be in Bharani. Bharani is a very interesting nakshatra. The symbol for Bharani is female reproductive organ. It's called yoni, right? And so that represents creativity. So it's literally giving birth to a child. So that means any planet that goes in Bharani becomes very, very creative. And what things it's going to create depends on the karakas of the planet. Okay, so let's say Mars goes in Bharani is different than Sun goes in Bharani or Venus goes in. Venus is the planet of procreation as well. So here the concept of creation becomes massively important. So this is such a big window of creativity these 12 days. Venus, and it's also the planet of healing. So we'll discuss more when we discuss all the 12 signs. So that's the first thing. So symbol is female reproductive organ. So creativity is the big thing. Next, the deity for Bharani is Yamraj. Okay, so we'll look at the whole mythology. So what happened? So then we'll see what are the characteristics of Bharani. So where they came from, right? So one of the big thing is Yamraj is the god of death. He's the one who takes away the soul when the body dies, right? So there is a theme of transportation. Yamraj takes away the soul, right? So literally you can see a lot of things happening with respect to transportation on the physical plane, transportation industry, or just moving things around, even the travel industry. Now, Venus being here, Venus is connected with air travel as well. So this is going to be very important for travel related things. So we'll discuss that will be important specifically for certain signs more than the others. And so transportation is a big thing on the physical level. Secondly, of course, transportation of the soul or at the energetic level. So that includes travel to other planes of existence, literally, energy healing, astral travel, and also connection with the ancestors, right? So there may be visitation from our ancestors, our people who have passed away, our forefathers may visit us, or we can visit them, or learn from them, get advice from them, get blessings from them. So this is a very, very potent, very powerful period to access all of that. Yamraj being the deity of Bharani. So that will give us direct access to all the other planes of existence. Now, Yamraj, of course, connected with death. So that means death is another theme. So death literally, could be literal death or passing away. But also it depends on which planet is visiting Bharani, right? So this is Venus here. So Venus represents spouse for male natives especially. And Venus represents relationships in general. Venus, so that means we may see a lot of churning going on in terms of our relationships, especially our partners. And so on one hand, this is the symbol is female reproductive organ, so that's giving birth. On the other hand, the deity of Bharani is Yamraj, so the death is a big theme. So this whole, cycle of birth and death is involved here. So that may literally mean there may be death of one relationship and birth of another, and need not be both. Could be, you may find new relationships. And also what kind of relationship with who, that also depends on your rising sign and your chart, what Mahadasha, Antardasha you wrote. So you have to look at the whole chart in totality. So you can get a reading if you really want to understand these transits, astrology reading. And also we're starting a course, in-depth course on Jyotish. So you can see the details here. It's a 24-week course. It's going to start May 9th if you want to learn deeper. So, okay. So now let's talk a little bit about the mythology of Yamraj. Okay. Um, Yamraj, he was the son of Surya, the sun. So what happened, Sun and Sanjana, his wife Sanjana, they had three children, Vaivasvat, Yama, and Yami. Son's another name was Vivaswan. So Vivaswan and Sanjana had first child was Vaivasvat. And then they had Yama and Yami. So Yama was the god of death, the Yamraj that we call Yamraj. Now, the interesting thing about Yamraj is there is an element of foster care, okay, that's very strong in Bharani. So that theme may show up in your life in these 12 days, something around those lines. Why? Because Sanjana could not withstand the light and the heat of the sun. So she created a shadow of herself called Chaya. And so Chaya became Surya's wife. She wasn't the real wife, but Surya didn't realize. So basically they had this relationship, but Chaya did not treat Sanjana's three children, Vaivasvat, Yama, and Yami, as her own. She sort of acted as, stepmother who wasn't very caring for these stepchildren. Okay, so Yama, he saw all of that. He was not very satisfied. He understood something was going on. He even raised his leg at one point to kick Chaya. And so, but he couldn't. So all this, Surya then found out, eventually he found out what happened. And then he saw that, a child cannot kick his own mother and something is going on. So Surya found out. But ultimately, so this gives Bharani element of foster care or some sort of neglect in parenting also possible. So those things we'll discuss when we discuss all the 12 rising signs. So there could be a theme of even single parenting. Okay, so something related to one parent is possible during these 12 days, or something related to that may get started. Also now, a very interesting thing is Bharani is very different from Ashwini. Okay, so people say, oh, I have Venus in Aries, but need to see which nakshatra. Ashwini is more of the nature of Shiva. Okay, whereas Bharani is of the nature of Shakti. So there's this feminine goddess kind of Shakti in Bharani. I've seen many charts where Bharani is very active. So these people are super creative with this very strong feminine energy. Even males, it doesn't matter male or female, it's the feminine energy we're talking about. So a huge theme of, so Shiva and Shakti. Shiva is Ashwini, Shakti is in Bharani. And so they may do a lot of these creative projects. So creativity is very, very strong. And what kind of creativity? It's not that masculine creative energy of sports and athletics and things like that. It's more feminine, literally like creating, giving birth. And overall, as I mentioned earlier, so there is a theme of transformation. Okay, could be birth, could be death, could be both. So cycle of birth and death, but there will be massive transformation, and we can, see, we can make sure, we can do things to make it positive. So the transformation is necessary for us. It happens when needed, when it's needed for us, but it can be a good process. We can learn and even enjoy this transformation by doing remedies. And also there's a theme of justice, dharma. Yamraj, takes away the soul, but then we look at the karma that the person did in this lifetime. So positive, negative, sort of like you can call it like justice, but it's like dharma, evaluating your karma. And so there is a sense of justice, or sometimes even uh, unfairness, unfair treatment, because as we saw, Yama was the stepchild. He wasn't treated fairly by his stepmother. So those themes may surface. Um, and then overall, big theme of change and transformation. Now, the Shakti of Bharani is Apa Bharana Shakti. Apa Bharana Shakti literally means taking things away and moving on, or it's also the power to cleanse and remove the impurities, remove things that are not needed. So that's the death is nothing but removing things that are not needed, or that have served their purpose. Let's say learn the lessons of this lifetime, and then we move on. So that's the Apabharana Shakti for Bharani. And so one now, because transportation is the theme, but it's the cycle of life and death. So air travel, uh, exercise caution, especially air travel. So Bharani Nakshatra, not super great for travel related activities. And so there's many famous people born in Bharani Nakshatra, especially their moon in Bharani. First of all, Karl Marx. Karl Marx had actually, if you look at their charts, so we discussed their charts in our class. He has his sun and his moon and his Rahu in Bharani. So massive Bharani energy. So that was like he was a revolutionary in a sense. He was a German philosopher, especially the political philosophy, and he advocated communism, right? So that's he brought a revolution, basically, a different philosophy. Another one is Edgar Cayce. He was a big clairvoyant, and he spoke from his higher self. So like he would go um, in a different state, like a trance-like state, and then he'll speak, sort of channeling. So a big clairvoyant, and he had his moon in Bharani in the ninth house. Ninth house is higher wisdom and gurus, all of that. So that makes a lot of sense with the moon in Bharani. Another big one is Carl Jung. We've heard of Jungian psychology. And so he has his moon in the fourth house. Okay, so he was the big, um, basically, so he had this theory, on psychology. You can call it analytical theory. So basically divides our psyche, our consciousness into, so he said there's personal unconscious, there's collective unconscious, and then there is ego. So a deep philosopher, psychologist, and he revolutionary ideas. So that's Bharani, basically going deep in the subconscious, unconscious mind, and figuring out and giving birth, literally, nurturing. That's the womb, the female reproductive organ, nurturing and giving birth to radical ideas and philosophies and theories. And another interesting one is Hitler. He had his Mars and Venus both in Bharani. You can imagine this aggression, this sort of literally acting like Yamaraj, or, sort of god of death. So Mars is aggression, Venus is, relationships and all. So Mars and Venus, this passion, this aggression, this basically taking sort of the work of Yamraj in your hands. So that's the extreme manifestation of Bharani Nakshatra. Okay, so this is a very fascinating nakshatra. People think it's just a 12-day period, but Bharani is giving birth to something and maybe taking away something, death of something as well. So birth and death. So those things happen in a moment. Okay, so literally we can give birth to something, some ideas, some projects. Giving birth doesn't mean bringing it out to the world. Giving birth literally could also mean the muhurta, starting of the project or something. So something important we can start during this period. And so we'll discuss all the 12 rising signs. If you like the content so far, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to my channel, and hit the bell icon to get the notifications for new videos. And leave your comments. If you have important planets in Bharani, leave the comments. I read every single comment, and I also reply to specific ones. Some questions you have, how it's going to manifest, and healthy discussion. All right, so let's get started. One by one, we'll discuss all the 12 rising signs. Okay, so first of all, Aries rising. We're talking about the Lagna, the rising sign. We're not talking about the moon sign. People still keep asking a lot of questions about this is rising, this is sun. So we are talking about the rising sign, which is the Lagna. And your Lagna is, so if Aries is your Lagna, so number one is Aries, and you can see here. So for Aries rising, Venus in Bharani, you can see it's sitting in your Lagna. And for Aries rising, Venus is your second ruler and your seventh house ruler. So second lord and your seventh lord visiting or coming, transiting through the first house in the nakshatra of Bharani. So what does that mean? So second lord is coming to your Lagna. That means there will be a lot of change, transformation happening for your family relationships, and that'll impact you in a big way. Similarly, seventh lord transiting through Bharani in the first house, seventh lord in the first house. So that means there could be a lot of change and transformation in your relationships, and that will impact you immensely, because any lord coming, transiting, or sitting in your first house impacts you immensely. So that means those changes will be coming to you in a way. So you may not initiate those changes, but big change, transformation happening. Number one, for your one-on-one relationships, personal relationships. So literally your marriage, your partner, your relationships, but also your business partnerships may undergo change. So that literally means there may be a lot of opportunities that come to you, seventh lord coming to you. So new partnerships. So that's the birth of relationship, new business partnerships. There could be a lot of opportunities, or there could be letting go of old partnerships, business partnerships, and then this whole thing, cycle of birth and death. So, or literally, let's say if it's the same partnerships, there could be change and transformation in your existing partnership. So that's very much possible. So time for caution. So just be careful and not to take any decisions in a rash manner. And then second house lord in the first house in Bharani also means you could change your food, your diet, and you could also change the way you manage your family wealth. There could be changes like redistribution of family wealth, or new ways of looking at family wealth, new ways of discovering or investment for family wealth, your resources. So all of that is possible now. But even more than that, the first house is undergoing change and transformation. Venus sitting there. So that means overall, your personality, your sense of self, self-worth, who you are. You may discover yourself. You may start seeing yourself in a different light. Other people may start seeing you in a different light. So this is a very deep, transformative period. Look at all the people charts we discussed in the intro section. Watch the intro section. So, Edgar Cayce, Karl Marx, um, uh, Jung. And so all of those big people, so this is a massive energy. This is actually perfect time for you to um, accept, embrace, and then facilitate this change and transformation in a positive direction. So things you can do is uh, don't resist this change that's happening within you or with your relationships. Let it flow. Second is you can do mantras for Bharani Nakshatra, which is same for all the rising signs. You can do Om Bharani Nakshatra Devataya Namaha, or you can do mantras for Venus also. Om, the beach mantra for Venus, Om Dram Dream Dram Sah Shukraya Namaha. Now for Aries rising specifically, as I mentioned, a lot of things you can do is in terms of relationships, family wealth, diet, and all that. You can give birth to a lot of new ideas, new ways of doing things in relationship, or new ways of investment for family wealth, things like that. So good time for Aries rising to think of new ways, new ideas, transformative, innovative ideas of these areas of life. Okay, all right. So that's for Aries rising. Next is the sign of Taurus, Taurus rising, Taurus Lagna. And watch the intersection, very interesting discussion. So for Taurus rising, it is your Lagna Lord. Venus is your Lagna Lord that is going through the nakshatra of Bharani in your 12th house. And Venus is also your 6th Lord. So the Lagna Lord and the 6th Lord is transiting through the 12th house in the nakshatra of Bharani. So this is quite different from Aries rising. For Taurus rising, your Lagna Lord is in the 12th house in Bharani, right? So literally, this is the time of letting go of yourself, your ego, basically. So let go of any sense of ego, this I-ness, right? Ramana Maharshi says it very well. I mean, this I is not that you as a person. This I is the conscious collective I-ness, right? So that's the theme, big theme for Taurus. And letting go of any attachments, complete change and transformation of your personality. And also, this is the time for you to access other planes of existence. For Taurus rising, you have portals open. Even Sun is in Bharani. I mean, Venus in Bharani. Uh, this is the time for change in relationship with yourself more than with anybody else. So the seventh lord is not involved. Of course, for male natives, yes, in general, for it will impact relationships, your spouse, but for Taurus rising, specifically for everybody, male, female, this is a massive period for change and transformation in yourself. Okay, how you can transform yourself. How you can do that? By access of subconscious mind, access of other planes of existence, past life regression, all the 12th house matters. Connection with the ancestors, past life regression, hypnotherapy, lucid dreaming, especially in your dreams. 12th house is our sleep as well. Bharani activated in your 12th house means massive portals of energy and guidance and wisdom in your sleep, in your dreams. You can travel other planes of existence. So astral travel, energy healing, clairvoyant. And also a very good time to go on a retreat. Could also be like a luxury retreat, like a Ayurveda spa, things like that, because Venus is the planet of luxury enjoyment. So that's one way. But don't go overboard on your expenditures because it's the 12th house. You can give some donations. That's a very good remedy because 12th house is activated. At the same time, your 6th house is activated. 6th house is our health as well. So change in your health routine, change in the way your dinacharya, your daily routine. So this is going to be, this will bring new ideas. So give birth to some new ideas. Be extra careful in your travel, especially air travel, because Venus is the planet for air travel and it is in your 12th house in Bharani. So be very, very careful with air travel. So that's one big caution for Taurus during these. So it's a relatively short period, but massively important period to put something in place, to start something, to give birth to something, some new ideas around yourself, around also, connection with the foreign people, foreign culture, maybe learn foreign things, foreign subjects. As I said, all this energy healing and stuff, dive deep into the subconscious mind, psychology, research, science. And then other 6th house matters as well. There could be change in your employment, change in your volunteer activities. You may start some new volunteer activities or helping other people. And also, one other thing is be cautious about your inner enemies and external enemies. 6th and 12th house activated means, there could be hidden enemies, things like that, but be very fair and just. That is Bharani, that is Yamraj. Be very, very honest and just and fair. So that's very important for you, especially with Venus in the 12th house. So that's all for the sign of Taurus. We'll look at Gemini next. For Gemini rising, as you can see here, so number 3 is the Gemini and Lagna is Gemini. So watch the intersection for all the important esoteric mythology, deeper meaning of Bharani. Now for Gemini rising, Venus is your 12th lord and Venus is your 5th lord. So the 5th lord and the 12th lord is transiting through your 11th house. in the nakshatra of Bharani. So we'll see how that impacts you. So Venus is in the 11th house. So there could be a lot of change and transformation with respect to your friend circle, with respect to your social media presence, with respect to your financial gains, the sources of income. That's 11th house. So there could be a lot of letting go of old friendships, or embracing new ones, or some friendships from the past may resurface. It's kind of like cycle of birth and death, right? In terms of financial gain, so you may let go of old ways of making money and embrace new ways, but this is a very good time to give birth, to think of new ways of investment, new ways. See, investment is a big theme for Gemini because 12th house is investments. The Lord of 12th house is in the 11th house. So any decisions you make now, you take now, decisions doesn't mean actual, execution of all that, but just beginning of the idea, beginning of the project. Any decisions around investment will be really, really powerful. They'll serve you really well. So Bharani eventually will give birth to something profound. That's the nature of Bharani, this female reproductive organ. So it is under the, below the surface, it is actually nurturing, caring, and giving birth to something, making something ready, something that's very profound and powerful. And so that's what you can do. And also it's the fifth lord. Venus is the fifth lord. So that is fifth house is the house of creativity. So massively important time, powerful time for you to be creative. This also includes your romantic relationships. There may be changes, transformation in your romantic relationship. You may find, get into a new relationship, but also old ones may change, or you may let go of existing ones. Same thing with your children. Fifth house is our children. So big, see, Venus itself is the planet of change and transformation for your children for Gemini rising, right? So for Gemini rising, Venus is fifth lord and 12th lord, which literally means change, transformation for children. So now Venus, the lord of those two houses, going through Bharani, which is the nakshatra for change and transformation. So there could be a lot of positive things, positive developments, new ways, new shift, change in your relationship or change in their life. They may undergo a lot of change for good. So be creative and do things with your children, do things with foreigners, interaction with foreigners, and those all will bring financial gains for you. One caution is be careful about your desires. Venus in Bharani, especially these carnal desires, especially these materialistic desires. So that could be a big urge for you to be, sort of uh, overindulging in material desires, especially sexual desires, especially luxury items, spending, expenditure, showing off, all of those things related to Venus. So keep your desires in check. Then this will be a very powerful transformative period for you. Next is Cancer rising, Kark Rashi. Cancer rising, that is Cancer, is your Lagna. Okay, ascendant is Cancer. So for Cancer rising, Venus is your 11th lord, and Venus is your fourth lord. So fourth lord and the 11th lord is transiting through your 10th house in the nakshatra of Bharani. So 10th house is activated, and at the same time, fourth house is activated. So 410 axis is activated, and also 11th house is activated because Venus is the ruler of 11th house. So that means, first of all, there could be big change in your job, in your profession, in your business, in your work that you do. That's the 10th house. Some things you may let go of, or you may literally start a new career, a new direction, a new shift in the line of your work, or some new, massively new creative ideas to do things differently. But no doubt there will be massive change in your profession for Cancer rising. This could also mean change in your relationship with your, authorities or with your bosses. And so you will do things in a different way. and there will be a lot of creativity. You may actually, at your work, in your profession, in your business, give birth to a lot of new ideas, new projects. So this is the time to be creative, and bring something revolutionary into this world. So listen to the intro section. We talked about several personalities, big personalities who have important planets in Bharani. So that's the time, and 10th house is activated for you for Cancer. So that's what you can be. That's what you can aspire to be. At the same time, fourth house is activated. So there will be balance between the fourth house and 10th house. So you may do a lot of things in your home also, change, transformation, renovation of your place of residence, or literally, a change of residence is possible as well. The fourth house is activated. And at the same time, 11th house activated. So that means change in your friendships, change in your desires. Keep your desires in check. That is a caution for Cancer rising as well. And new ways of doing finances. So you may find new ways of making money. That's 11th house and 10th house activated. This could also be a transformative period for your mother. A big change is happening with respect to your mother or your relationship with your mother. So all of that is happening with the 4 and 10 axis active. So that's all for the sign of Cancer. Watch the intro section if you haven't already. Next is the rising sign of Leo, Leo Lagna, Leo ascendant, so number 5 sign. So for Leo rising, Venus is your 10th lord and Venus is your 3rd lord. So 3rd lord and the 10th lord transiting through your 9th house in the sign, in the nakshatra of Bharani. Watch the intro section to understand the deeper meaning and mythology and a lot of interesting ideas about Bharani. So overall, your 9th house is activated, your 10th house is activated, your 3rd house is activated. So what this means is, in fact, for Leo rising, Sun is also transiting through your 9th house. Sun is your Lagna lord. So this, in a nutshell, for Leo rising, a big time for change in your belief system. You may undergo a revolutionary change in your belief system, your spiritual views, and you may also change the gurus, or your relationship with your gurus or with your superiors may undergo a shift, a massive transformation. You may meet new gurus, literally from past lives, from this life, or you may let go of any old gurus or things that are not serving anymore, that are not helpful, or that have served their purpose. And so I would highly encourage you, listen to the intro section. We discussed big personalities who have important planets in Bharani. So look at their life. This is the time for you to, sort of give birth, or literally, create something new in terms of your belief system. And also it's the 10th Lord as well. So not just belief system as in what you do in your private life, but bring it out to the open as well. So something that relates to your profession, your work. So this could mean that you may be on a quest for changing the world, literally big ideas, revolutionary ideas. And that will change your path, your direction. That's the 9th house. Also a good time um, sort of maybe change, transformation in your relationship with your siblings, younger siblings especially. Now, Venus is creativity, Bharani is creativity, 3rd house is all the skills. So a really good time to learn some new skills or to use your existing skills in a very creative way for dharmic purposes. That's the 9th house. 9th house is also religious places. So if you are, into temple churches, so this will be a one big remedy for you. Direct remedy is spend more time at the temple, at the church, at the mosque, wherever you go. Spend more time at the religious places, or having more spiritual discussions with your Sangha. That's the 9th house. In general, also spend more time in nature. I mean, 9th house represents freedom and, traveling in general. So maybe traveling for pilgrimage is a good idea, but be careful if you do air travel. So your Lagna Lord is supporting you. It's in the ninth house, and the 10th Lord is undergoing Bharani as well. Change and transformation is a big theme for you, especially in the things that you do for your profession, for your work, for your business. And so the way you uh, what you want your legacy to be, legacy is actually eighth house, but 10th house is your mark on the world, the way people see you, perceive you, your name and fame, your recognition, all of that may undergo a big shift. So you may start something very positive, very massive, influential, and revolutionary that may change the direction of the rest of your life. Next is Virgo rising, Virgo ascendant, Virgo Lagna. For Virgo, number 6 sign, Venus is your second lord and Venus is your ninth lord. And that is going through a massive, transit in Bharani in your eighth house. So your eighth house and second house are activated directly. And your ninth house is also activated because Venus is the ruler of the ninth house. So see, for Virgo, uh, your eighth and ninth house are both activated. These are both very spiritual houses. So literally, you can discover the pearls of wisdom, the secrets of the universe. That's eighth house. Bharani will give you all the energy, all the creativity. Bharani will transform you completely. And then ninth house is all about higher wisdom. So you'll gain a lot of higher wisdom. And also you'll have blessings of the gurus. You'll have access to the subconscious mind. Eighth house is deep secrets, philosophy, research. This is the time to do a lot of research. If you are in a research profession, this is the time you'll shine. You'll discover the solution or the ideas, the answers to your problems, to your questions. So dive deep into energy healing, hypnotherapy, past life regression, all of that. Eighth house matters. And through discussions and blessings of your gurus and sangha. That's the ninth house. Now, also, this may lead to change in your family wealth or your relationship with your families. Second house is activated. And you can also bring those ideas, those pearls of wisdom out to the world through your speech. That is the second house. You can speak about it, conduct webinars, teach other people, share these ideas. All of that is second house matters. There may be a lot of things happening with respect to your inheritance or your combined shared finances with your spouse, with your partner. That's the eighth house. You may be managing other people's money. Maybe a good time to get into like financial management, financial advisor kind of roles, teaching other people, helping other people change their lives through finance. And this may actually lead to like windfalls of money possible, but give birth to a lot of ideas, a lot of fresh ideas about understanding the secrets of the universe. Go very deep, energy healing, and you can literally, this is the time for Virgo rising to start studying astrology, or any like I said, learn hypnotherapy, learn energy healing, astral travel, go deep into the subconscious mind, connect to the universe. Connection to the universe is the eighth house. Secrets of the universe is eighth house, and that is totally activated for you with Sun and Venus both in Bharani. And Venus will be there from May 5th through May 16th. Okay. Next is Libra rising. In fact, so Libra ascendant or Libra Lagna or Libra um, rising sign, right? So number 7 sign is Libra. So this transit is actually most powerful, and this will impact Libra the most compared to all the other signs. Because first of all, it is the Lagna Lord. Venus is your Lagna Lord, and Venus is your eighth Lord. So Venus is a very deep planet for you. It is the planet of change and transformation for you, and it is going through your seventh house. Venus represents relationships, so especially for women, this transit will be massive. This will bring huge changes for women who are Libra rising. It's and For men also for your relationship, but for women it is like you. Venus represents Jiva Karka for female natives, and Venus represents spouse for male natives. So absolutely, this will shift your life. This will completely change your life. The eighth lord and the Lagna lord transiting through the nakshatra of Bharani along with Surya. So massive shift happening. So first of all, you will transform yourself. You'll change yourself, the way you perceive yourself and the way other people perceive you. Complete, change of personality. And then also, so eighth house is involved, right? So eighth house is all about change, transformation, deep change, and it could be a sudden change also. And this will shift the way you perceive your relationships, or your relationship with your partner will change, or literally your partner may change. You may find a new partner, or if you already have a partner, this could mean letting go of the partner or change in your existing relationship. So you are, you as your Lagna Lord, Venus represents you for Libra, are transiting through the seventh house of relationships. So you will be very much focused on uh, making changes in your relationship or doing things together with your partner. This is ideal time if you have a steady partner, if you are in a marriage relationship. This is ideal time to give birth to something collectively, both of you together as a partner, as a couple. Uh, Something profound, something very deep. And this could also be related to healing. Eighth house is deep cleansing, letting go of things that are not needed. Eighth house is excretion, anus. And so getting rid of impurities in your relationship, in your life, but healing yourself and healing your partner, healing your relationship at a very deep level. Rejuvenation is the theme. And doing things in a very creative way. That's Bharani Nakshatra. And doing it in a very fair and just manner. So sharing and caring and fairness, all of that, that's Libra. Libra is balance, balance is, so the first house and seventh house activated. So there will be a focus on balance between yourself and your relationship. Okay, so how you perceive your relationship, what are your responsibilities versus your partner's. Those will be the issues, the points of discussion. Those will be the themes for change and transformation that will lead you to develop a higher devotion, higher love. You may take your relationship to a higher level that's more, evolved, and more like bhakti, higher devotion. So that can be, that's possibility for you to take your existing relationship to that level, or find a new partner with whom you may have this kind of relationship. Next is Scorpio rising, Scorpio Lagna, Scorpio ascendant. Watch the introspection for beautiful stories, not the story, you can say mythology, and then also the famous personalities who have important planets in Bharani Nakshatra. That will give you a clue. So for Scorpio rising, Venus is your 12th lord and Venus is your 7th lord. So 7th lord and the 12th lord going through the 6th house uh, in the nakshatra of Bharani. So literally your 6th house and your 12th house both are activated. And that, we'll discuss what that means, but also at the same time, your relationship house, the 7th lord is activated. So for Scorpio, first of all, the focus will be on health. You may undergo a lot of changes and transformation in your health. You may incorporate new health routine, new dinacharya, new daily routine, and you may reevaluate the way you perceive your health, or if you are having any acute health issues, you may reevaluate your the way you approach healing. You may incorporate natural ways of healing, alternate ways of healing, Ayurveda. All of those, that Venus is deep healing, deep cleansing. Deep cleansing is burning. And so that will bring a big shift in your health, the way you perceive your health, the way you do things. At the same time, this is also activating your 12th house. So you may do more healing through energy healing, through subconscious mind, through activating your mind, through your emotions, your feelings, your heart, uh, going within, and also maybe through some foreign modalities, which are not, what you grew up with. That's 12th house. So if you, let's say, if you're in the US, you may start using Ayurveda or Indian healing remedies and things like that, and vice versa. And so the key thing is keep your mind open to new possibilities, new ways of doing things. Again, 6th house and 12th house also connected with the enemies, inner enemies, which is our Shadripus, the 6 weaknesses, and 12th house is like hidden enemies also. So you may discover, be careful with any blind spots in this area. Okay. And also be very careful especially with air travel. Venus is the planet for air travel. 12th house is the house of losses, and Bharani Nakshatra is harsh nakshatra. So be careful with air travel. Now, seventh house is activated as well. Seventh house is your relationship. So normally, seventh lord sitting in the sixth house is not so great for relationship. So you got to be careful. And it actually may mean that your relationship is undergoing a massive change and transformation, which is for good, right? So you and your partner may undergo some shift in the way you do things, the way you approach life, the way you approach your relationship. So that could actually transform, really make it go to the higher level, your relationship. And if you're not in a relationship, this may mean uh, you know change in the way you perceive your relationships. Okay. And sixth house is also the house for service. So this is a good remedy for you, is to serve other people, especially for health related issues. And also you can give donation. So sixth house, 12th house activated, really powerful remedy is to give donation for health related causes. That's a very direct remedy. And another big remedy for Scorpio is also giving charity or donation for causes related to relationships, especially like in India, let's say, young girls who, uh, there are expenses involved in their marriage. And so you can sponsor their marriage. Their parents cannot afford the expenses. So those things, those are big remedies. Anything related to relationships, anything related to health, um, uh, donation, charity, volunteer work, service, all of that is really powerful remedy for you. Next is Sagittarius rising, Sagittarius lagna, Sagittarius ascendant. For Sagittarius people, Venus is your 11th lord and Venus is your sixth lord. So sixth ruler and the 11th ruler is transiting through your fifth house in the nakshatra of Bharani. So these houses are activated. So for Sagittarius rising people, one big caution is be careful with your desires, especially in your romantic relationships, because your 11th house is activated. 11th ruler is transiting through your fifth house. So fifth and 11th axis is activated. 11th house is are big desires. And Venus is the planet of desires and luxury and relationships. So keep your desires in check. Secondly, this may be a big transformation, bring big transformation in your social connections, in your friends circle. See, this is a big transit. Bharani is the nakshatra for change and transformation. It is the life and death. So anywhere this is activated, whichever houses, this will bring change and transformation in those areas. So don't take it lightly. Big change in your friendships, big change in your romantic relationships. You may end a relationship or begin a new one, or in your current relationship, it doesn't mean anything bad at all. It may mean that you may transform your relationship for good, bring it to the next level. And then fifth house is all about creativity. Bharani is the nakshatra of creativity. So powerful time to focus on giving birth to some ideas. Also could involve your children. Fifth house is our children, or your students, your disciples. So doing things in a new way with your children, or big window of opportunity to start something creative for your children, or they may do things on their own. A big shift happening in their life. And sixth house is also our health. So the way you approach your health will change, the way you do things, a new health routine or new daily routine, dinacharya, those things will be impacted. And you may actually change your job literally. If you have a 9 to 5 kind of a job, you may change your job. You may also change, the way you help other people. Sixth house is volunteer and service to other people. So you'll be very creative in helping other people. And then fifth house is also luck and speculation. So be careful not to take any hasty decisions. Bharani is a nakshatra of complete change and transformation, and it's the Yamraj we're talking about. You may start some new mantras. Fifth house is related to mantra shastra, mantras that we do chanting, or you may do lots and lots. One of the key remedies for you will be either begin a new mantra, or if you already have been doing mantras, do lots of mantras during this 12-day period. You could do whatever mantra you've been doing, or do the mantras we discussed in the intro section also, mantras for Venus or for Bharani, and also mantras for children. Okay, mantras for relationship, those will be very powerful for you. Energy is activated for the fifth house, seventh house, and 11th house. I meant fifth house, not the sixth, seventh house, fifth house, sixth house, and the 11th house. Next is the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn rising, Capricorn Lagna, Capricorn ascendant. So for Capricorn rising, Venus is your 10th lord and Venus is your fifth lord. Okay, so fifth lord and the 10th lord transiting through the fourth house. So Venus is basically the yoga karaka for you. Yoga karaka means a planet which rules one of the Kendra houses and one of the Trikona houses. Kendra houses are the 1, 4, 7, 10. So among these, Venus is ruling your 10th house. And among 1, 5, 9, the Trikona houses, Venus is the ruler of your fifth house. So it's a very, very auspicious, very important planet for you. And so it is transiting through your fourth house. So let's see what all that means. So for you, focus will be balance between the home life and your career. Your fourth house and your 10th house are activated along with the fifth house. So that means you may literally, yeah, maybe renovation in your house or complete change of residence. That's the fourth house. Change in your relationship with your mother, or big, massive shift in your mother's life. Change in your career, uh, different line of work, or big change in your existing profession, in your job, at your work, change in your relationship with your authorities. Um, and then also the way you perceive inner happiness. This may actually, you may undergo big shift that will lead you to inner happiness. That is the fourth house. Bharani activated in the fourth house means it will give you a glimpse of what really makes you happy. That's the fourth house. And then fifth house is activated, so change in your life of your children or your relationship with your children. So a lot of very important areas are being impacted for you for Capricorn. Your home, your mother, your place of residence, your inner happiness, your profession, your children, and also change in your romantic relationship. The foundation may change, or you may change you may find a new partner, romantic partner. So all of that is happening, but the fifth house activated, creativity activated. Venus is planet of creativity. Bharani is the nakshatra of creativity. So a very massive window for you to bring shift and change in these areas of life. Next is Aquarius rising, Aquarius Lagna, Aquarius ascendant. So for Aquarius people, Venus is your fourth lord and Venus is your ninth lord. So this is a Yoga Karaka. Venus is a very auspicious planet for you. Yoga Karaka transiting through your third house along with Surya. And of course, your Lagna lord is transiting through your Lagna as well, aspecting Venus, the third aspect. So this is a big shift for you, big transit that's going. So the planet Venus is going through nakshatra of Bharani. So for Aquarius, this will bring a big change in your heart. Basically, what makes you happy, your inner happiness, all of that will undergo change. You may learn new things, new ways of making you happy, finding really deep, long-term happiness. A big shift may happen in the life of your mother or your relationship with your mother. A big shift may happen in your belief system. Venus is the ninth lord, undergoing this massive shift and change in the nakshatra of Bharani. Bharani is the nakshatra of transformation and change. At the same time, maybe change in your relationship with your siblings. But your third house is completely activated. Third house is the house of skills. So, and Venus is the planet of creativity. Bharani is the planet of creativity, with a symbol being the female reproductive organ. So learn some new skills. Or if you already are, working on some skills, master them deeply. New ways of learning those. And Venus and Bharani will give you all the skills, all the energy, all the blessings, all the power to learn these new skills and bring those out to the world and be a teacher. Your third house, ninth house activated. That means bring those skills out in the open. That's the ninth house, and be a teacher, be a consultant, be a guru, be a guide with those skills. Teach, share those skills with the world. And fourth house also means there could be literally a change in the residence, because that's very much possible in your case, especially for Aquarius, because fourth lord is in the third house, right? So the fourth house is residence, and third house is the 12th from the fourth. So that means literally change in place of residence is possible, or just renovation in your home. So something, some shift will happen for sure with respect to your place of residence. And then we have the Pisces rising. So the Lagna is Pisces, or ascendant is Pisces, Pisces rising sign, number 12. For Pisces rising, Venus is your third lord and Venus is your eighth lord. So Venus is transiting through the second house in the nakshatra of Bharani. So the planet of transformation for you, for Pisces rising, Venus is the planet of transformation because it's the eighth lord. It is going over your second house of family wealth, your family relationships, family values, your speech, your food that you eat. So all of that may be impacted. The way you approach your finances will change. The way you approach your resources, accumulated resources, your wealth, the way you approach your shared resources. So there could be could be windfall of money from your inheritance or from your spouse's side. So second and eighth house are activated. So a lot to do with family wealth, with your accumulated resources, with shared resources. A big change in the way you speak. Be creative in the way you speak. Second house activated. Be creative in your diet and food that you eat. And then also this may shift your relationship with your younger sibling. But a very powerful time to learn some new skills. Third house, a Lord is activated in the nakshatra of Bharani. That means Bharani is the nakshatra of creativity. So really a powerful window for you to start learning some new skills or deep dive into existing skills you may be working on. Um, and but you may see very sudden shifts happening for you for Pisces because eighth ruler is activated, and that may surface in different areas of life. Um, and I want to emphasize again, this is a really powerful time to go out and be a speaker in a very Venusian, very feminine way. Very gentle, but very powerful. This Shakti, like goddess speaking. So that's the energy for Pisces rising. So that was the overall analysis for Venus in Bharani from May 5th to May 16th. If you like the content, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so you get notifications. And if you want to learn astrology this way, you can consider joining the course. We are starting live course that's going to start on May 9th. That's a 24-week, very in-depth course. And leave comments and tell me how you experience this transit. And this is going to be a very powerful transit, especially because the new moon, Amavasya, will also be taking place in Bharani. I'll talk about that in a separate video. But a change, a deep change for all rising signs in different areas of life, but also an opportunity to give birth to something very profound. Bharani is giving birth, the female reproductive organ, and at a very deep level. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your time, and I'll see you next time.